Hi guys, welcome to today's session, and today we are going to discuss about border peace accord. And in this session we'll first discuss what is border dispute, and then we'll discuss the highlights of border peace accord, and then we'll discuss what are the major takeaways of border peace accord, and finally, we'll discuss what are the concerns associated with the Bodo Peace Accord. So this is how I plan this session. Let's now start. So guys, recently the third Bodo Peace Accord for Bodoland as tripartite agreement between the center, Assam government and the Assam-based insurgent group National Democratic Front of Bodoland was signed on last year, and this is for bringing a lasting peace in border dominated areas in Assam. If you see what is border dispute, Bodos are the largest tribal community in Assam. They make up over 5 to 6% of state's population, and the Bodos have a history of separatist demands marked by armed struggle. And the four districts of Assam, that is Kokrajhar, Baksa, Udalguri and Chirang, that constitute the Bodo Territorial Area District (BTAD). They are the home to Bodos along with several other ethnic groups. And demand for a separate state for Bodos is the root in reasons like administrative and also in development apathy of the state of Assam, and a feeling that identity, culture and language of Bodo people were subsumed by Assamese and migrants. So this is the main issue, and in 1966-67 a demand for a separate state called Borderland was raised under the banner of Plains Tribal Council of Assam (PTCA), that is a political outfit. And in 1987 the All Bodo Students Union (ABSU) renewed the demand. Divide Assam 50-50 was a call given by ABSU's then leaders, and this unrest was a fallout of Assam Accord. Also in 1985, which addresses Assam Accord addresses the demands of protection and safeguards of Assamese people, leading the Bodos to launch a movement to protect their own identity. However, following an agreement in 1993, Bodoland became an autonomous administrative unit under the 6th schedule of Indian Constitution, and it is administered by the Bodoland Autonomous Council. Also, following a second peace agreement in 2003, the Bodoland Territorial Council (BTC) was formed, which has 46 members and act as a legislative council to look after development works in Bodoland Territorial Area districts. And the third border accord was formed last year, which renamed BTC as Borderland Territorial Region with more administrative and fiscal powers. So that is the highlight of border dispute. Now we will see what are the highlights of this third border accord. According to the third peace accord, the villages dominated by Bodos presently outside the BATD would be included, and those with non-Bodo population would be excluded. And Bodos living in hills would be conferred scheduled hill tribe status, and also Bodo with Devanagari script would be associate official language for entire Assam. And BATD would now be called as Bodoland Tribal Region, and it will have more than before executive, administrative, legislative and financial powers. And also over 1500 armed cadres will abjure violence and join the mainstream, and also a special development package of 1500 crores over 3 years will be provided. So these are the highlights of third Bodo Peace Accord. Now we will discuss the major takeaways of this peace accord. So guys, the third Bodo Peace Accord is for ensuring peace and harmony in BATD. It is the first peace agreement in Northeast where all the existing insurgent groups in a particular area have their signatures with a joint commitment to end violence. Over 1600 cadres of different factions of NDFB surrendered their arms and joined the mainstream within 2 days of signing the agreement. And this will soothe the sentiments of borders, that is borderland territorial area districts will now be known as borderland territorial region. So the changed nuance from districts to region is significant as it acknowledges a border homeland within the state of Assam without separating from Assam, and also satisfying the identity and aspirations of border people. And next point is it will balance the aspirations of all. That is, the new accord has also decided to demarcate the border of borderland territorial area. This is expected to address the issues of both tribal currently outside the border council, as well as non-tribal currently living within the council. For this purpose, a commission would be appointed by the state government and will examine and also recommend if villages contiguous to BTAD and with a majority of tribal population can be included in the BTR, that is borderland territorial area. And next point is strengthening the BTC, that is accord has also provided more legislative, executive, administrative and financial powers to BTC, and amendment to 6th schedule of constitution. And also hopefully this will protect the border culture and welfare measures. Accord has provided for setting up of a Bodo Kachari Welfare Council for development of border villages located outside the border council area, and declaring Bodo language in Devanagari script as an associate official language of Assam. Additionally, setting up several institutions of higher and technical education have also been provided in the accord. So these are the major takeaways. Now we will discuss what are the concerns associated with this peace accord. First concern is concern of non-borders. Critics have alleged that accord also has ignored the interest of other ethnic communities in the area. Concerns of non-border people, mainly Bengali-speaking Muslims, Adivasis and migrants inhabiting in these districts who were attacked and killed in large numbers in all these years must be addressed. And the second issue is implementational issues, that is the biggest challenge before all the stakeholders including the government would be to make it sustainable by enforcing commitments given in the new peace accord. And there is a possibility of chain reaction, that is it could trigger similar demands in other parts of Assam such as Karbi Anglong, Dima Hasau and Kachar, which also have homelands of non-Ahom ethnicities. Moreover, it could also affect the ongoing Naga peace process, leading Naga rebels to demand territorial and administrative autonomy in Naga homelands in Manipur, which will further trigger political and ethnic tension between Nagas and Meiteis, that is the largest group in Manipur. So guys, these are the concerns also. So this is a major internal security issue. So please study about this. They can ask one question in under GS3 of your UPSC mains paper. That's all for today. We will meet tomorrow with another topic. Thank you for watching this lesson.